We live in a world where the fearful live as slaves. Fear is a thief. It robs great men of their great destinies. The man who will conquer is the one who will not be afraid. Fear has a platform that holds it up, and the platform for fear is selfishness. If there is no selfishness, there can be no fear. But wherever you locate fear, you locate selfishness. And fear is expressed a lot of times
like
through
a
anger.
robot in every situation, as long as we're functioning according to that program. Because we may think that we are choosing to do certain things, but we can't choose outside of those parameters of going towards pleasure and avoiding pain. And everything that we do is done for an egoistic reason, and it doesn't matter how it looks on the outside. The degree to which our egoism controls the events in our lives is, well, it's evident. Just look at the world, and you'll see the kind of relationships that people have with each other. They look very nice on the outside, but what's really happening is that any kind of giving, anything that appears to be an altruistic act, is really always a calculation for self-satisfaction. So even giving great amounts of money.
They were never saved because he never knew them. And watch this. The ones he never knew, he tells them, "Depart from me, you who I never knew, who practice lawlessness." Traditional, I like it just as much. O ye workers of not sin, not transgression, but iniquity. Jesus says that the ones he never knew, the ones which were never saved, he said they practice lawlessness, they work iniquity. Now, are you kind of understanding what I mean when I say that a Christian cannot
in the effort, therefore,
sin?
To cater forever to self, we sacrifice others and their happiness and their rights to our own desires. Where we know this temperament and this characteristic is strong in us, we have no right to create families, because the individual who does not have the natural instinct to give of himself for that which he loves has no basis for marriage or parenthood. And as our generation is taught selfishness and is taught the importance of keeping mind largely upon self in the name of success, we are training people to be bad husbands and wives. We are training them to overlook their basic natural instincts and take on an assumed and false combativeness.
This stuff is true. There is a whole secret world that is kept hidden from us that makes everything make sense, and I understand it, more or less. And it's my mission to help you understand it too. You see, in the ancient text of the Sumerians, they talk about the Anunnaki, lizard beings that descend from the sky. That terrifies me, and it should terrify the hell out of you. Hold on. Back to the Truth Seeker line.
Yeah, I did like you said on the last show. I've been doing them prepper Kegel exercises so I can store rations in my ass once the abduction comes. At this particular juncture, in my ass, I got a pound of rice, 2 energy bars, a commemorative plate, a tiny saw, a deck of cards, an itty-bitty radio, some loose change, a prophylactic, a masonry bit, a first aid kit, a nudie magazine, a carton of cigarettes, some chewing tobacco, a copy of my medical records, and a mammogram pillow. Cause I'll be damned if I'm gonna sleep on the cold hard cell floor.
The world's
That's
first
great work.
microwave invisibility device. It'll make an object invisible to microwaves, and we went to Berkeley, where they can actually now do it for visible light. Now there is a problem. If you are inside an invisibility cloak, you cannot see outside. It's only a one-way trip. Therefore, if you are inside the invisibility cloak, you need to punch 2 eyeballs so you can see outside. So remember that metamaterials allows us to bend microwave radiations around an object, just like water flows around a boulder. If you were downstream from a boulder, you don't know that there is a boulder upstream. That works for microwaves, and it works for visible light
what evolution
as well.
is, it's natural selection. And literally what it means is that in any in any population of living organisms, you're going to have some variation. And variation just means there's just some change. And what natural selection is this process that sometimes environmental factors will select for a certain variation. Some variations might not matter at all, but some variations matter a lot. One example that's given in every biology book, peppered moth, and this was, pre-industrial revolution England.
So on this new layer, I'm going to go ahead and kind of give you a brief about what you can do to kind of get in the mindset of creating animated characters. And in terms of the brushes that I'll be using throughout the course, I'll be using two of the basic brushes, and that's the hard edge brush and the soft edge brush. And I'm going to keep it very basic to show you guys how you don't need a lot of texture brushes for this kind of a look. So to start off, I'm just going to grab my basic circle hard edge brush, but this one has shape dynamics turned on. So if you open your brush menu from your window, having my shape dynamics turned on gives me the ability to push harder on the tablet, which will give me more of that circumference of the circle. And as I get started, the one thing that I'm going to keep reinforcing is the idea of